So yeah, I am pretty much starting over in here because yeah, I noticed something and it was bugging me because it was only happening somewhere. So pretty much that will be said a little bit later because it is in the changelogs. Okay, on with that. On March 2nd, fix random value on 2DX frame. I may need to do that one again just for this one over in here because, yeah. Every time that I need to do stuff in the background as well, geez. Next thing, forgot another random value in 2DX frame. And for that one I also need to do that one in reverse now. Yeah, next thing on March 4th, fix step stats. Pretty much I did too much over in here because the next day on March 5th, I fixed too much last time. Double step stats. Because yeah, I was trying on doing certain something and apparently it pretty much backfired. So yeah, today on March 8th, I did a whole bunch of things and there are still things in the background. Okay, update step cache, fix BMS measure check and add chords. Pretty much the measure check is because of something during cache not being noted because I am mostly just modularing values to 100, but there are things over 100 and because they're in the same range I will be going over. That's pretty much going over to the same thing that I have there, so yeah, whoops on that one. And chords is because of something I'm potentially going to have for at least a BMU mode. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the same over there because that would be actually something else entirely and I don't need any chords of there because chords are pretty much everything in here excluding this here. So yeah, pretty much everything in here and pretty much means that on Poppin' Music chords are just all in here but just 2 extra buttons. So in that case that is that. Yeah, next thing, add ability to restart on screen evaluation. It is only for event mode, so if there are rounds there, it's not going to be there. If it's pretty much supposed to happen on normal, then I'm not really sure how to even implement that because I do not have Beatmania actual live one. Infinitas doesn't count because that is pretty much event mode. And yeah, next thing, add played time and total time to summary if show time is enabled. Just because something is there, that pretty much means that it's also going to be shown. So that's not there. And why I started, check for show beginner helper on Outfox since it's bugged since version 0.4.8.5. Yeah, it is broken since September 2020. Around September actually. Also, in terms of stuff, there is already an issue there, but that is if beginner helper is turned off, then is pretty much that has been fixed, but it hasn't been fixed if show beginner helper is on. And I checked, the version before that one did not have that bug either way, pretty much no matter what the beginner helper has been set at. But from 0485 onwards, it has been broken. And because of the fact that on the Outfox issue thingamajiggy, there is a place over in here that says I have checked it and it doesn't exist. Actually, pretty much in terms of stuff, it is no longer open, so it doesn't exist anymore, because I can't even reopen the one of the original issue when it has been quote-unquote fixed, because yeah, for whatever reason they did a half-ass job, which is pretty much just the usual on their part. And yeah, for whatever reason it is only fixed on one end, which is the reason why I'm going to force that option over. And yeah, it has been issued already pretty much a few hours ago, I think. I'm not really sure how much. I'm not even going over there to check how long it was since then. So yeah, that is pretty much that. And yeah, there have been some more things in here that will be noted once I get there. I'm not even sure if I have it live yet. But yeah, pretty much I said something about this last time I had stuff going in here. And the reason why sometimes it pretty much said it's 100% was because that failed also got counted. So yeah, I pretty much excluded any F ranks to any of the cleared stuff, because F is failed, not cleared. So that is also the reason why it's all there. And I also pretty much fixed something else in there. If something is pretty much on both ends the same, which I only had it like, yeah, pretty much on certain something else, like something I may go through once I am done with PABAT. Not this one as well, but also its predecessor. I have it already set there. And if that one is going to be a half sessioner even, I may have something else to pretty much fill the other half. Because I have something pretty much prepared that I would also like to go through potentially. And yeah, in terms of everything, the halfway point is M in here. And it is also going to be something as well. Also over in here there are a few more things that I have done. I inserted the brightness. Yeah, it is currently in here. It is not brought over yet, so I need to do a change for not only in here, but also for the node skin itself. So that is pretty much that. And another something which is pretty much, I would be saying, just normal he. So let's just go in here. Yeah, the one thing that I also haven't done is pretty much the backup thing. So if I crash in here, I may need to do stuff again. Or pretty much, yeah, on both sides. In terms of summary and everything. Also, I'm not really sure if autoplay is on. Load already.
This sound sample is generated by AI, and it sounds like...
Okay, I had to do something one-handed because my eye was itching all of a sudden. Also, in terms of things, I may need to put my shirt into the washer and whatnot, because I had been having it for quite a while and it's maybe a little bit meh. Also, yeah, pretty much the reason why I have something on the sideline is because I have, I've added something here for when something is late or when something is early. Because I've added that in. So, if I also have something in regards of thingamajiggy, the high score, it would be also then having it there. So, in that regard, that is that. So, yeah. Also, everything on the left is pretty much scaled to how much it's actually being plussed on. So potentially it could be like, yeah, it would be not exactly. So yeah, but because of stuff here, it won't be that much there, except for stuff where I will be actually a little bit lower than, or making it, having it badly. Also, yeah, in terms of something else, after, I think before this one was pretty much the high score one, because target is always the second one. I have it checked over in here. Also, this one is only there if you go into the step stats and have it set as 2dx. Otherwise, it is not going through here because it is pulling data from there. That's that. Also, yeah, another something that I just remembered, I not really renamed, but I pulled the names from everything on the left side, depending on which game mode one is on. And it is also going to do the same if FA Plus has been enabled. Also, another Lollipop one. Last time, oh yeah, that is also something else. That is also what I have done. Want it a little bit later? I need to play. But yeah, the judgment in the evaluation screen, it is also not live yet. They will be having it either set to 2dx, Puppet Music, or regular ITG. Also, in terms of something else, I may need to re-text something. Because it should have been target met, not target passed. Well, also, in terms of everything in here, I have it dotted and not lined. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it lined, because that will need... Also, I also forgot to do that. Things. Did I forget something again? I'm not really sure. Either way, going over in here. And there's a whole lot going on over there. Oh yeah, in terms of the groove radar, which is the reason why I did the chords stuff, I may be going to do stuff there as well. Of course, in the end, stuff is going bullshit in here. Oh, wait a fucking second. I was still doing something else in the background. I really hope this one is not going to bite me in the ass. So where the fuck do I have that? Hello? Oh, wait a fucking second. I had that one there, so now I need to check where it is. Actually, I should be checking where the halfway point is on the bow. There we go. There it is. Okay, I have this one there. I'm doing something else in the background as well. And of course, it's going to be there. This is in regards of 2DX in general. This one has a null measure and it has a video, so there will be a desync at the end potentially. Also, I still haven't checked if it's actually at the end, so wouldn't have counted as a null measure, but I can't even check that. Yeah, the desync is afterwards where there is nothing. I may need to adjust or insert another thingamajig in here to potentially get measures cached as well, so that I have a leeway when to start or not. Neither on that one. Pretty much. And yeah, maybe I need to actually have something in regards of this, but that one will then also depend, because I should be then rating all of that or having all of them in other ones. Maybe I need to have a system for that as well. But this one is not really a 7. There are so many in here. It may be a half session, so pretty much a normal session instead of everything at once. Because there may be actually a whole bunch of things in here. Pretty much there needs to be a bunch of things in here either way. Also for things, where do I even have it? Not there, but that was that. That was me trying to check where it had been. Where do I have the things? Are there? Oh yeah, pretty much there. Auto target. Depending on SPS. Reload. Cache. Previous. High scores. So pretty much that. Yeah, of course it's going to be there. Actually, I should be checking it when I am at the place where I am a little bit more going elsewhere. Oh, this is something else. Since when does this not happen? honestly, even on this one, the patterns are a little bit, well, they are mostly correct, but not entirely. God damn it. I'm not going over in here because there actually aren't any of those, so there's still quite a bit, so I mean, sometimes the difficulty is not correct, but sometimes it may be, because SPS is only the base. Could have been harder or easier. Oops. Ring, what the hell? No, this time I was a little bit on the low end. Yeah, if it goes below, it is going red. That happened at the beginning. Well, that's something. Let's get some more actual things in here. Also, in terms of other things, I may need to actually do something which I have already said. If I count it again, I should be having it noted. potentially I should be slowly but surely start bringing over some Lunatic Rave 2 stuff. Oh god damn it. And there's a video that will be desynced at places. Potentially already immediately. I mean, since it has been noted at there, so we'll be there. Also, in terms of stuff, why I am also pretty much waiting for beta 1 to come out is because of stuff like this. I know it has already been fixed in the next version, but I can't use that next version because of loading issues. Because everything in here has been preloaded. Pretty much minutes before the stream, I went over in here, went through every song so that it's preloaded. It's already in the cache. Because if it's not being in cache, it pretty much takes an entire second for just one of those songs to actually load over in here. In terms of pretty much... yeah, pretty much take this times 2. Because jeez. And I'm pretty much not really sure if it's just generally a BMS issue, or if it's just an issue of pretty much everything as well as Outfox being wonky. Okay, have it there. It is going to be something of in here. Sometimes something that sounds or pretty much looks silly can be not. But in that reason, yeah, sometimes there are things in the rough. Because of everything in here, I'm not really sure, because I was quite on the low end there already. And there are even a bit more there. It's not really much there, but I'll go. That's a bit much. Yeesh, I'm pretty much checking on things because what the hell is the taste in my mouth? And there's a whole bunch of things in here. I mean, of course, it's because of high speed stuff. So at least stuff is actually normal in here. Not really sure if it's going to be actually 4-bit or stuff, or if everything has been set correctly. Either way, let's see. Oops. Okay. Oh, there's quite a spike there. Maybe that's the reason why it has been pushed up, because I don't actually think it's that much. So, this is going to be potentially something. And yeah, I said something in terms of I'm not going to do any of the too easy ones. That one is not too easy. So that one goes. So, of course, it cuts off at a certain point. Unusual, but still. Let's go there. I'm no longer even going over there. And this is one of the beams that would potentially actually benefit in having the brightness lowered. Because geez, maybe that's the reason why it has been there. It's a little bit different for when stuff is actually showing up. A nice cut off there. So yeah, I may actually, oh yeah, I need to have that there. Node skin 30x AC. Stop tweening. Question mark. Pretty much I may need to actually have that there to make it actually work.